Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Anthony Wood and this is Shop Mad. This is just going to be a quick video today on a shop project. I kind of like shop projects because, well, they make your life a whole lot easier. Now my shop is relatively small in comparison to some of the American shops, so on occasions I have to break down 8x4 sheets, whether it be particle board, chipboard, OSB, MDF or plywood. So what I'm going to make today is a 48-inch track saw for my circular saw. Now this will help us break down these 8x4 sheets, and maybe at a later date I'll make an 8-foot track saw. Now I'm just going to start by measuring the base plate up to the blade. Now if you've got a cordless circular saw, make sure the battery's out, or if it's corded, make sure you've unplugged it from the wall. Right, now just measure from the blade to the outside edge of the base plate, and on my saw it is 100 millimeters or 4 inches. Now I'm just going to use some 12mm ply for this track saw. Now the width of the track saw, I want it to be 23 centimeters or 230 millimeters. Now from there I need to mark in again another 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters plus 3 millimeters for the kerf width on the blade. So I'm going to get this marked off now, and then I'm going to start and get some of this cut down to size. Now I'm just going to measure in 175 millimeters. Now 100 mil is for the base plate and 75 millimeters is for the fence of the track saw itself. So I'm just going to get this marked off at both ends now. Now I'm just going to use the circular saw, run up against the side of this guide to make the 3-inch fence or 75 millimeter fence. Now that I've got the two pieces cut, the base of the track saw is cut, also the 75 millimeter fence, I've actually got that cut as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to measure up from this edge in 120 millimeters, and I'm going to do this on both ends. Now to affix the fence onto the base, I'm just going to use wood glue and brad nails. Now I'm going to line it up to the 120 millimeter marks I'd made in from the outside edge. Now that the fence is glued and brad nailed in place, I'm going to take the opportunity now to run the circular saw down the edge of this fence to give us a perfect zero clearance edge, which I can mark up on boards which I want to cut in half. Now if you remember, I'd marked in 120 millimeters from this edge up to the fence and then adhered it and brad nailed it in place. The plate on the bottom of the circular saw measures 100 millimeters from the edge of the plate to the blade itself. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run the circular saw down this edge. With the track saw, it's relatively easy. All you do is you mark your board where you want to cut off. Make sure the part that you want to cut off is on the outside edge. or you're going to have to take into account the kerf width of the blade. Now I've just marked this in either side just for demonstration purposes. Now you'll have noticed where I've got the fence, I've left it so I can get some spring clamps on either side to secure it, which won't interfere with the motor of the circular saw. So I'm really pleased I've made this track saw project today. It's going to work out great in the shop. If you like the video, please give me a big thumbs up and consider subscribing for new content being added on a weekly basis. So until the next video, bye for now.